welcome to the Voice of the Coast. I am your host, Danika Foley. With me, we have Stephanie Guidry, who is the CEO of Franklin Foundation Hospital. And if I'm right, this is your second time here on the Voice of the Coast, and welcome back.
Thank you.
And I mean, no, we did not coordinate this, but we look good, don't we?
Yes, yes, we do.
This is our color. Well, you know, and it's so crazy when I think about when you first got here. You've been here now about 4 years.
That's correct. Yes.
Yeah. So how's it going for you? What's your tenure like?
I love my job. I love Franklin Foundation. I love the community. I am so pleased to be here. That 4 years has literally flown by. It does not seem like it's been 4 years at all.
And we're just happy to have you here.
Well, thank you. I'm thrilled to be here.
Now I'm going to ask something a little personal. So what typically is the lifespan of a CEO at a hospital?
It depends on the size and scale of the hospital, but typically I would say 4 to 10 years.
Mm-hmm. And do you have any more life in you here?
I have about 4 to 5 years more life here. So, yes.
Great. And speaking of your life here, this is home now. Like, this is going to be your home.
It is. I am about to build a house on the bayou, and I'm really excited about that. And so I have a home in Texas, and I'm going to sell it, and we're going to be established here for the next few years.
And in the next 4 years, we're going to work on your accent, too. Oh, yeah, we're going to work on that a little bit. You know, that's what they told me when I moved here. What's your last name? I'm like, Foley? Well, who are your people? So,
well, when it's people say you have an accent, I go, me?
Right. Yeah.
I have an accent?
Right. That's typically how it goes, yes. But we're looking at this beautiful building, and I'm actually pretty excited to see it come up because there are a couple of amenities I would like to partake in. But let's talk about it. It is the Franklin Foundation Wellness Center. First and foremost, where is the location of this facility?
It's going to be there's the hospital at 1097 Northwest Boulevard. Then there's the medical office building, and right next door to the medical office building, it will be right there between the medical office building and the railroad track.
You guys are really expanding your facility, your footprint, right?
We are, and we're very excited. This facility is going to be 60,000 square feet. It's going to provide some current services that we offer in the hospital that we're moving to the wellness center, and then some new services as well.
And 60,000 square feet is a lot of space, obviously. And with that, you got to fill people. You got to have bodies. So you're going to be hiring, I'm sure.
We are going to be hiring. It's going to take about 13 full-time employees to manage the whole, and that's outside of the physician practices, which are already employed. But just the fitness center and all the other new services, about 13 employees.
Well, let's go right into that. What are some of the new services that this building will house?
So when we open, we currently have Dr. Brett Rochon as our cardiologist, but we are bringing to the community cardiac pulmonary rehab, which is a totally new service to Franklin Foundation. And then also, when you have chronic illness, chronic heart disease, or any kind of chronic illnesses, you see a lot of depression. So we're also bringing in a senior behavioral health program as well. Yeah. And then we'll have a full fitness center. We're going to bring all of our outpatient physical therapy, speech therapy, and occupational therapy into this facility because Ortho LA will also be housed in the wellness center. So then with all that, we have the fitness center, which is the fun part. So we'll have your typical gym. We don't use gym because it's a wellness center, and all of this comes together because the focus is no longer on illness. The focus is on wellness, and how do we keep you well so that you never really get that sick? Yeah. So we have a fitness center with all this high-end, high-tech treadmills and Stairmasters and all those things with 3 studios, which will have a cycle studio, a yoga, Pilates studio, and then a larger studio for the high-intensity fun like the Zumbas and things like that.
Now, also, I think some of the younger people will be like, they're going to love this part. There's going to be a pool.
There's going to be 2 pools. Oh. There's going to be a lap, then they're both indoor. There's a lap pool, and it's a 4-lane, and then we're going to have a therapy exercise pool. And that pool will have a lift chair for those that may have a difficult time getting in and out of the pool. And so that's where we'll do water aerobics and all those fun things in there.
And of course, this is a membership fee.
There is going to be a membership fee, but we are working very hard to make sure that as many people as possible can afford to be a member, because at the end of the day, what I'm hoping to see is this will become a gathering place for people to come together, exercise, and have a cup of coffee and enjoy each other's company.
Yes. And last question about the Wellness Center at this time, how soon?
The slated opening date is May 22, if the weather cooperates.
Okay, again, let me just clarify, May 2022. Okay?
Yes,
so we've got another year to go. So we're going to take a break. Come on back right here on the Voice of the Coast with yours truly. Welcome back to the Voice of the Coast. I am your host, Danika Foley. With me, we have CEO of Franklin Foundation Hospital, Stephanie Guidry. Now, we've kind of given you a broader overview of the 60,000 square foot wellness center that's coming up adjacent to the Franklin Foundation Hospital. And I'm just amazed. Like, you know, there's some things you talked about, but then there's some things you did not talk about.
Correct.
Particularly smack dab down at the bottom.
We have a beautiful conference room that can be divided up into 3 rooms for smaller meetings, or wide open for wedding receptions, Mardi Gras balls, senior graduation balls, whatever the need will be. We'll have this facility, and I'll have all the high-tech audio, technical, I don't know all that language.
Look,
but,
you know what? They were not able to do Mardi Gras this year, and I know they're probably eyeing this. About how many people do you think it will fit?
About 400.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys are going to get business all over the place.
And then the other thing we didn't mention is there's going to be a child care. It'll be a couple of hours per mom, but we wanted to be able for moms to be able to come in and get exercise and not worry about the kiddos.
Come on.
Yeah. And then we have a little cafe bistro, which will offer smoothies, healthy salads, sandwiches, and things like that. And the other thing I didn't mention is we have a walking track in here, an indoor walking track. So.
Wow.
I'm excited.
I am too. Like, I think you guys have really thought of everything. And speaking of you guys, we want to give, pay homage to the people who actually put this in place and got the ball rolling. Yeah. And that was Senator Brett Allen, as well as former state rep Sam Jones.
That's
kind of
correct.
Tell us a little bit about the funding really quickly.
Okay. Again, the funding was something that they'd been working on for years. We call it the Special Grant Fund. It is really a portion of what's something that's called Medicaid Capacity Fund. But it's very technical, and I can't even explain it correctly, so I'm not even going to go there. But
ultimately, we didn't pay for it.
It's a $19 million project, and it's not costing St. Mary Parish or Franklin any dollars. It's fully paid for.
And that's number one. That is
key. No tax monies are going towards it or anything.
Yes, because of all of these beautiful, just wonderful amenities. I mean, how far do you expect to pull clients in from?
Our research has told us that we should be able to pull at least 25 miles from any direction.
Okay. All right. Now, we're going to kind of put this to the side, and I kind of do want to talk about, as we bring everybody here, we've been talking about COVID since the beginning. So how are your cases at this moment? We are in May 2021. So, I mean, obviously we're now March. So we're like at the year mark.
Right.
How have you guys fared during this pandemic?
We have done very well. The hospital staff has done an amazing job. I'm sure you've heard of stimulus funds or the CARES Act funds, which we were able to take advantage of, and we've increased our technology considerably related to caring for COVID patients. For instance, COVID patients are supposed to be in a negative pressure room. We fitted 6 rooms so that they're all negative pressure. New what we call PAPRs, and that's the PPE or the protection equipment that the nurses wear. We were able to buy some that were lighter and easier to work with. We averaged 3 to 5 COVID positive patients in the hospital at any given time.
And hats off to our first responders. They don't get enough praise.
Absolutely.
And speaking of praise, I know sometimes you want that little extra money. I know that's how I like to be appreciated.
Yes.
Like a little money to go with it.
Yes.
So, I mean, there's some hazard pay that's being
We are
distributed.
currently paying hazard pay to specific positions within the hospital, and it's really based on how much exposure that position has to COVID. So yes, we are, and we will continue to do that until the risk is lower for the employees.
Now we know that vaccination it's been rolling out, and we're now at the 55-year-old mark. But of
Yes.
course, first responders were right at the top. How are vaccinations in Franklin?
We're doing a lot of vaccinations. We've completed at least 1,000 to date. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Well, again, thank you very much for coming through
welcome.
and giving us all this great information. Like now, I'm salivating because I'm like this. I didn't expect all of this. This is great, and I think the public really would appreciate. Look, driving, and you know what? I'm going to say this. I get on my stool a lot here, so give me a moment.
Okay.
The thing is, we're going to be able to bring the parish together with
Yes,
this. So
yes.
I'm going to go ahead and end here. Thank you so much. We'll
Thank
see you
you.
guys next time. Make sure to subscribe to us on Facebook. We are KWBJ TV 22. Welcome back to the Voice of the Coast. I am your host, Danika Foley, and we have a familiar face. If you remember, I'm thinking maybe 2-3 years ago, you were here talking about your invention.
Yes.
I had an inventor on the show, Pastor Allen Randle, who is now here speaking about a book. He is an author, a published author of not just one, not two, actually 3 books.
Yes.
One book I know is actually in the making.
Correct.
However, but we're calling it's 3 books. So
Yes.
the book we're talking about today is called Becoming the Best Me. And it's a personal guide to weight loss and weight management. Now, ladies, gentlemen, we are in 2021 early on, and many people make these resolutions. They're saying, I'm going to lose weight and I'm going to keep it off. Well, most times by March, we've already gotten off that and we are moving on to something else. But you have a book and it is proven. You actually, it's proven for yourself.
Correct.
Of course, you know, when you have the experience for yourself, you can share with other people. And the reviews are in. We'll get to that in just a moment. But I mean, Swing Thing, you're an inventor, you're a pastor.
Yes.
Now you're talking about weight management. Where did this background of this experience come from?
Well, some years ago, approximately 10 years ago or so, I was very heavy. I gained much weight, and I needed to lose the weight fast because my knees were wearing from a case of being bow-legged. And I took to the track and began to walk, and I found out that walking didn't do it alone, that I needed to adjust my diet. And so I began to do both. I began to walk and ride bike and do exercise, but also I began to adjust that diet, made better food choices and smaller portions. And along the journey, I received some wisdom. I did some studying and began to jot down some notes and tips that I might follow myself. And they worked. And I lost approximately 35 to 40 pounds within 3 months in the middle of the holiday season.
Oh, so you mean you could eat all that good food?
Oh, I ate it, but I had to eat smaller portions.
Okay, so that's the key.
Yes.
And it's smaller portions.
Smaller portions, correct.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. So 30 pounds in 3 months.
About 35 pounds.
35 in 3 months. Okay. And so you've been able to maintain it because, you know, we can
Yes.
lose weight.
Yes.
Then all of a sudden, sometimes we'll put on double what
Correct.
we lost.
Right.
So it's all about really maintaining it.
It is.
And, you know, you mentioned something, and that is my grandmother said, bread will make you spread. Oh, I love bread. But I've started kind of, you know, moving back from the table. No, I don't need bread. I'll pass on the bread. Is it a mental thing? You know, when people say, you know, it's mind over matter.
Yes. Well, it is. And let me just add something to that, and then also to something you said previous. Maintenance is very important. And what really inspired me to go back, because that was 10 years ago, but what inspired me to come back to the thought, to the book, and to complete this work, because then 10 years ago I thought, wow, I could put this in book form, and it would help others. But I didn't do it. But here I am 10 years later. But throughout the 10-year period that lapsed, I remembered those tips. And I didn't follow the plan to a T. I wasn't regimented. But yet, those little things that I applied to lose the weight, I somewhat applied them along the period of time where I lapsed. And it kept my weight. It helped me to maintain.
Okay.
Until, of course, I kind of went back up again in weight. And when I began to complete this book at the end of last year, I went back to applying everything that I did 10 years previous.
Okay.
And here I am again, and I've lost, within the last month and a half, I've lost about 17 pounds.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm going to just say this. What I try to avoid are the trends.
Yes.
Hey, if it works for you, that's great. But it's so many trending, diet, regimens that are out there. But we're going to talk a little bit more about food, because I told you, I said that is my weakness.
Yes.
And I think that's a weakness of a lot of people. Yes. So we'll come on right back here to the Voice of the Coast with Pastor Allen Randle. Welcome back to the Voice of the Coast. Again, I am your host, Danika Foley. With me, we have Pastor Allen Randle, who is the author of this great book here, Becoming the Best Me. It is a personal guide to weight loss and weight management. Now, many of you are at home, and it's about that time where you're probably going through your weight loss regimen. You're saying it's a new year, new me. Well, here is the answer right here. So you have lost overall, because you've done it twice,
Yes.
right? And this is a 10-year journey.
Correct.
But you went back to it.
Yes.
And it is a proven method. Yes. So overall, how much weight have you lost?
At this point, almost 17 pounds.
Okay. The first go round, you lost
35.
35. So yes, proven method. So tell me about the reviews. We could always hear what you say, but what are the people saying? What are some of the reviews that are coming in? Because this book is actually just released not too long ago.
About a week ago.
Yeah, cool.
Yes. Here's one. She said, I just finished reading your book. It was excellent. There are so many things I love about it. The content is informative, but being an athlete myself, a PE teacher and coach, the information was familiar. What I love most is the journal-like makeup of the book. I absolutely love pages 14 and 15. For anyone who is truly serious about weight loss and subsequently weight maintenance, the setup of this manual is so people-friendly. And she went on and said she would recommend it to someone else.
Well, let's recommend it to those who are watching. Where can they purchase it?
It could be purchased on Amazon, or they could call me personally. I follow my work, and so they could call me at 337-578-7243.
One more time.
337-578-7243.
All right, and when you're looking it up, it's called Becoming the Best Me, a personal guide to weight loss and weight management. Like I told you, let's get to the real deal here, right? So we can talk about exercise and food. I need to know what I need to eat, because that is really the hardest part. We want to, we'll walk, we'll run, we'll do all the exercises. because that's, you just got to get into a routine.
Yes.
But we live in South Louisiana.
Yes.
What's the food? What am I going to eat? What are some examples?
Well, you could basically eat anything you want to eat.
Okay.
We stress small portions, and of course, it's kind of food friendly, because you have to eat 6 times a day, 5 times a day. And if you need that last meal, you can have the last meal.
Okay.
The times are, I recommend, from 6 to 7, 9 to 10, 12 to 1, 2 to 3, 5 to 6, and 8 to 9. Only if you need that last meal.
Okay.
And again, we stress smaller portions and make wiser choices.
Right. Okay, that's a lot of eating. Just one.
Yes.
But I know you have it pretty much all outlined in the book.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes,
now, I started riding my bike. I love riding my bike because I think it's just it's freeing.
Yes.
Right? So what other exercises? Am I like going to the gym huffing and puffing? Am I like what, am I not doing enough? What else, other things I maybe should do?
Yes. Well, you don't need a gym to do these simple exercises.
Okay.
We want to keep it simple. What we want to do is focus for a short period of time in the morning, short period of time in the evening, and simply move the body.
Okay.
The key is, and I have it outlined in the book, but move the body.
Okay.
That's what's most important.
All right.
And so keep it simple, just simple movements, and then over time, endurance will increase, and you may go a little longer in the morning or in the afternoon.
Right.
or
I mean,
the
in
evening.
addition to being an author and pastor, you were also a coach. I mean,
Yes.
you were around athletes for a long time. So, and you also studied health.
Health and physical
Yeah,
education.
so that's great background. I mean, it's also proven methods for yourself. And I love the review that the lady sent to you. I thought that was great. So again, if you would like to check this out, because I know new year, new me, we always say that every year. Now we're in 2021, and the book is called Becoming the Best Me, A Personal Guide to Weight Loss and Weight Management. I think this is great that we have something like this out. I'm actually impressed. I mean, you have all this information inside of you, and you're sharing it with the public. It's great. One more time, tell folks where they can find the book.
You could go to Amazon and order it there, or you could call me personally at 337-578-7243.
Right, and just really quickly, only in paperback, right?
Yes, it's only in paperback at the time.
Okay, awesome.
Yes.
Again, thank you so much, Pastor
you.
Randle. Please get yourselves that book. Everyone wants to lose a little weight. And that is all the time we have. We'll see you guys next time. Take care. We are KWBJ TV 22.